And we are back. Well, first and foremost, I apologize for the short hiatus. As you all know, I do try to post twice a day, and I didn't really post at all yesterday. The reason is because, of course, here in America, yesterday was election day. Um, and I was really just too into the election and anxious to sit down, think up something, and post it and do all the editing and shit. I just really was too zoned in. I had just come back from work a couple hours prior, tired as shit, and between focusing on the election, having my fucking face buried into the phone, watching every update, or sitting down and doing a video, I went the election route just for one day out of the year. Every other day, we're gonna do like normal. I post twice a day, posting now, and then probably by 12 a.m. U.S. East Coast time. But anyway, yeah, I was watching the election. I'm not afraid to hide it or say it. I'm a Trump supporter. I've always been one. I'm a conservative, so I was really nervous. I've been supporting Trump for a long time, and just fucking was really anxious about the whole shit. But thank God he won. He won. But that isn't the main event of this. That isn't the main idea of this video. I just wanted to talk about why I haven't posted for a while, and now I'm going to segue into what this video is actually about. Brandon Moreno, as we all know, he recently just beat Albazi, and there were a couple questions going into the fight, and then we got some answers. A lot of you guys came live with me. I thank you guys for that. And I was questioning whether or not Brandon Moreno was still vintage, classic Brandon Moreno. I felt like he was kind of coming out of his prime. He had recently retired, and then he wanted to come back, and because it's like a Tony Ferguson retirement, where you just say, I'm gonna take a break, and who knows whether I'll fucking come back or not. That's what Brandon Moreno did after losing to Brandon Roy Dog Royval. And it was a shit fight. It was a shit performance that Moreno put on in that fight. I feel like Moreno could have finished Royval numerous times in that fight, and Brandon Moreno just refused not to. Kept trying to land a right overhand, nothing else. Didn't want to throw with volume, didn't want to use combinations, just really short 1-2 overhands, and a whole lot of this shit, and a little bit of showboating. And then he actually fucking thought he won the fight afterwards. So it just shows he was just trying to do enough and not go above and beyond. In this fight, however, against Albazi, he did go above and beyond. He outclassed Albazi. I feel like there were more things wrong with Albazi than there was right with Brandon Moreno. And this is coming from a Brandon Moreno fan. I want Brandon Moreno to win, but at the same time, I've been acknowledging and saying there's a lot of faults in his game plan and in what he's been doing recently. And I want this guy to be flyweight champ. Better yet, I want him to fucking move to bantamweight and possibly be bantamweight champ. But I feel like he's miles away from that just because of how he's been fighting, especially in that Brandon Royval fight. And don't get me fucking started with the Pantoja fights, but that's different. At the end of the day, he fought Albazi. He won. He outclassed Albazi. Like I said, I feel like Albazi didn't use the tools that he should have used to win. I feel like Albazi's grappling is pretty good, and he should have went to it. I think Albazi went to it once or twice, shitty takedown attempts, and that was it. I feel like Albazi should have, initiated into the clinch more, went for trips into the clinch, went for more takedowns, just really, really try to bring the fight to the ground, because you're obviously losing on the feet. Round after round, Albazi would just get fucking battered, and he'd try to jab, but his reach isn't long enough. Brandon Moreno had the better reach. He was a longer fighter in this fight, and he utilized that reach and that length every fucking second of that fight. The jab was there for Moreno. He was jabbing Albazi's fucking head off. The overhand was there for Moreno. He was landing the overhand all night. Damn near rearranged Albazi's face by the end of it. So Albazi just came into that fight with the wrong game plan. Being a shorter fighter, you got to grapple. You got to have more movement. Albazi didn't have any of that shit. He deserves to be at the fucking bottom of the rankings for that type of fucking, game plan, man. It shows that you have a desire for the belt, but you have no fucking clear way of getting that belt. So that's what I saw from Albazi. But anyway, it's still good on Brandon Moreno. He was doing classic vintage Brandon Moreno stuff, you know. So it was good. You know, bottom line though, I don't think it beats Pantoja, and I don't think Moreno should fight Pantoja. I think Moreno should fight, you know, Kai Kara France, and maybe after Kai Kara France, we'll entertain the you know, chance of fighting Pantoja again, even though Pantoja's clearly outclassed Moreno twice already. I mean, I don't want to see Brandon Moreno versus Alexandre Pantoja 80, bro. I don't want to see this fucking fight for the 70,000th time. I don't want to see it. I don't. And I can't blame the UFC because there's not much competition for Pantoja anyhow. He's about to fight Kai Asakura. I predict Pantoja beats Kai Asakura too. And he's just, for a long time now, been the owner of the flyweight division. It's just how it is. It's his game plan. It's his style. And it's almost completely his chin. It's the chin of Alexandre Pantoja that has got him this far and will likely get him much, much, much farther. So that's just Pantoja's thing. But yeah, Moreno did well. I think the UFC should make Moreno versus Kai Kara France. I think that fight would be a banger. And I think the winner of that fight gets a title shot against Alexandre Pantoja or Kai Asakura. Unlikely if Kai Asakura would have beat Pantoja. So I think that would be a good fight. You know, Moreno versus Kai Kara France. I look forward to it, and I hope it's made. I don't really have a lot to say on Brandon Moreno. Again, I'm a fan. I like his energy. I like the person he is outside of the octagon. I just feel like, you know, that fight against Royval really threw me for a fucking loop. It really just kind of irked me about Brandon Moreno as a whole. So that's why I keep criticizing him. But I love the guy, and I respect anybody who makes the walk to the octagon. But this is just the stuff I've been seeing, man. This is the stuff I've been seeing from him, and coming from a fan, I feel like it should really be paid attention to. But either way, I look forward to seeing Moreno versus Kai Kara France. Congratulations to Moreno for outclassing Albazi. I still think Moreno doesn't touch a title in the flyweight division again unless Kai Asakura beats Pantoja, which is highly unlikely to happen. But anyway, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But most importantly, subscribe. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next.